Good morning. My name is Leon from Setter's Raid, better known to my clanmates as Setters. Today, I'm going to do something a lot different. Not a little different, a lot different. But I am hoping that I can help some of you guys out. Um, I'm going to do this once a week on the weekends. Weekends tend to be the weakest numbers. I'm going to do this once a week on the weekends. And what I'm going to attempt to do is I'm going to go through and list board games for people who love Raid. Um, there's a lot of different categories I can go through. As you're about to find out in a hurry, I have 150 board games here. Legitimately 150 board games. Right behind me, I'm going to pull up the screen. You're going to see it. Um, but you're going to see all my games behind me in just a minute. But the most important thing that that I'm going for is these are games that people who like Raid should enjoy. They're not going to be my best games. Today's topic is best games for families and kids under 12. Okay, so they're going to be a little more simple. They're going to be a little less complex. But I am betting that of the ones I'm listing, I'm going to be listing 6 of them. It's actually going to be 5, but 2 of them are so close to each other. They're made for different age groups. I'm going to combine them together in one. I'm going to show you guys the games that I actually own them. I've played them 100 plus times. Um, you guys will get a chance to actually see everything that's going on. So, let's get started here. First, as is in tradition, we're going to really quickly pull. Yesterday was absolutely horrid. Today it's already better, like by far. As long as I get one more from Ultra Nightmare, it's going to be a better day, a better game, or day. In Nightmare, I got nothing. Absolutely nothing yesterday, absolutely nothing today. Ultra Nightmare, if I get just one Ancient Shard, it'll be better than yesterday. And there we got an Ancient Shard. And a 6-star Cruelty. This is already a way better day. And a Void and a Lego. Hell, this screen by itself is better than yesterday. So, real quick, I'm going to just quickly get off of this screen here and finish up my daily chores here real quick because, well, that's what we do. We do our work while we can. To be honest with you, I could use this team for every team. I could use this team for everything. Um, oh shit, I hit it twice. I didn't mean to hit it twice. I'm gonna use 100 gems because I want to. You can tell my brain's not in it right now. My brain's focused on the board games. So, there we go. This is all the raid stuff you're gonna see, and we're gonna go into the new topic. Board games, people who love raid will like, and that their families will enjoy. Today, we're focusing on the family and 12 and younger. Okay? Focusing on the family and 12 and younger. So, we're going to go and As you can see behind me, I have a bunch of games. I like board games. They're kind of my passion. And I have everything that I need here to help you. And we're going to get started right away. The first game, and once again, this is not in order at all. The first two games I'm going to show you, and the only reason I'm showing you these two games first is because they are on top. First game I'm going to show you is a game called The Mind. Let's see if we can get it to focus in a little better, not on me. There we go. The Mind. This is a game. It's really simple. All there is in the game is cards from 1 to 100. They're just cards from 1 to 100. And all you're doing in this game is you're trying to get the cards laid out in order. So, round 1, everybody gets 1 card. Round 2, everybody gets 2 cards. And let's see if we can't get that a little bigger. It's as big as it gets. You can see that there are levels. So it helps you keep track of what level you're on. This is your life count. If you mess up a level, you lose a life. You can gain lives as you finish levels. And there's these ninja stars, the shurikens, that you can earn also. And the way this game works is everybody in round 1 gets dealt 1 card. The game rules say you're not supposed to talk at all. Game rules say, hey, there's no talking. There's no, it's a silent game. We've modified the rules saying there's no talking about the game, but we can talk about anything we want to. So that way, when the kids are at the table, I can ask them, have you finished your homework? Have you done whatever it is that you want to do? And the kids, they, they enjoy the game. And once again, we're trying to go from lowest to highest. Here you can see that 76 got played before 74 and 72, meaning you're going to lose 1 life. Really a simple game. This is the loudest simple game I've ever played in my life. People are yelling, they're having a great time. How can you play that so quickly? Blah, blah, blah. And in the end, it's funny, it's fun. Kids, even 5-year-olds can play this game. I have played it with 5-year-olds. They really throw a monkey wrench and stuff because they have 0 patience, but still, it is fun. I've played it with a table full of adults. It's awesome. And it's like a $10 game that you can get from Target. The Mind is an awesome game. Here we go, back to The Mind. Whoops. The Mind. I absolutely adore this game. It is very good. Like, very, very, very good. And this was the lowest rated game here. This is a game site called Board Game Geek, and they give them a 6.8 out of 10. That's not a very low score. That's a very high score because this is community rating. A lot of people complain that they consider this more of an activity than a game. But what I do with my family is we always try to beat our record. We've made it up to level 7. We want to make it up to level 8 now. Very rarely do we make it past level 5 or 6, but it's still a fun time. People have a good time with it, and you get to know your family pretty well. So that is the mind. This is the mind. And as I said, it's just a tiny little game in a box. The next game, just one. Let's see if I can get out of the way so I can get a better picture of it. In just one, there is these little boards that you get that work with dry erase markers. Here's a little board. You can see that there's a little lip in this board. And I put this board in front of myself, and each player gets a little board like this. And then a word comes up. Okay, so I have a word here, and we're going to give it to you. And I can use only one word to describe the keyword. And the keyword is on a card that's going to be put in this little stand in front of the person who's it. So one person's it, and then you just move around the table. Everybody gets a chance to be it. You go through 15 turns, and you every time you get it right, you get a point. Every time you get it wrong, you don't get a point. Whoops. And then everybody writes a word. Okay, and so everybody at the table except the person who's it knows the everybody at the table knows the keyword. And then what we do is we remove all the duplicates. These two were the same, so they get removed. You don't get to see it because there's only one. You get just one. And then here we give you the clues. These are the remaining clues left over for you. So the first word is Belgium. Second clue is milk. Next word is dark. Dark. And the last word that they give you is white. So Belgium, dark, white, and milk. What single word are they trying to get you to say? And then you get these little clouds to clean up your boards when you're done. Belgium, dark, white, and milk. So I'm going to leave you guys to think about it for just a minute while I continue talking about the game here and cleaning up my boards. This game is really solid. It's really good. It is called Just One. It has a 7.6 out of 10 rating, so it's just about an 8. Really good. Tons and tons of people own it. 44,000 people own it. It's one of the most popular board games out there right now. Kids play age is 8+, but as long as they can read and write, if they want help, because there's 6 people around the table or 5 or 4 or whatever, they can generally go to their neighbor and say, hey, I don't know how to spell aluminum. Can you help me? Now, once again, a 5-year-old isn't going to come up with the word aluminum, but if they can't spell a word, we're going to help them. Okay? But, yeah, Just One is an awesome game. Here's a list of all the words that you have that you might have. Not all of the words, but this is just an example of some of the words. So you might have the word gumbo, and you're gonna have to give them 1-word clues on gumbo. Here you see that the word is lightning, because the person on the other side doesn't know that number 4, lightning, is the word. They don't know anything on this card at all. This was selected for them at random. And then 2 people guessed thunder, so we remove the word thunder. And they got to guess the word lightning. Now, I would put in the word McQueen. maybe that might be obscure enough for people to guess, Lightning McQueen. So I'm trying to get the person to guess the word lightning, but I'm trying to give them as obscure a clue that no one else would give them. It's a great game to help kids' vocabulary. It's a great game to help get into their minds to understand what's going on. In this here case, they're giving you clues to the word just one. Of course, just one isn't one word. It'll be a one word clue. But they're playing on their own game. So this just gives you an idea. Here we have Dr. Bowser and Goombas. The word is, think about it. But anyways, back to our puzzle that we had for us. The clues were white, dark, Belgian, and milk. Have you guessed what the word is? The word is chocolate. Now, milk chocolate, white chocolate, dark chocolate, and milk chocolate, and Belgian chocolate. So, you guys get the idea of how Just One works. Very simple game, very fun game. This is a game that I play with the family a lot because my family really enjoys this game. Whenever it's raining, we're always playing this game. When we're up at the lake, I take that game because it's a small enough box. I take it up with me all the time. On to the next game. Ticket to Ride. Ticket to Ride is connect the railway game. It's very simple. It's very, very simple game. Here you can see it's got high rating, 7.4 again. Once again, this is the single most popular game in the world. This outdoes Monopoly. But most people haven't heard about it. 128,000 own. All that is in this game. There's a map. You get some cards. And you get some routes. So they might tell you need to build a route from San Francisco to Chicago, and another one might say you have to go from Houston to Winnipeg. And so you have to build routes on this map. If I went from Winnipeg to Houston, I don't have to take the straight route. I can come way off to the side and come up over here. There is no right or wrong answer. But on your turn, there are cards that are placed out. And here there are cards. You have white, orange, blue, black, yellow, red, purple, and green. And then there's a rainbow one that is a wild card. And this is how many are in the game. There's 12 of each of these colors and 14 wild card ones. This is how many, the scoring table is out there. There's 1 6-train connection. Or not one. You get 15 points for a 6-train connection, 10 points for a 5-point connection, 7 points for a 4-train connection, blah, blah, blah. You can see how the scoring goes. And what happens is, in this case here, you can see going from Dallas to Houston, it's just a 1-train thing. And it's white, meaning it can be any color. So you put it on white trains. But up here you can see there's yellow listed, or right here there's blue. This means it can only be blue trains. And that's not white, that's actually gray. Because there is white, right? There's white. There's white train cards available. But on your turn, you can see it set up here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different stacks, right? And you can pick 2 cards out of there. Unless there's a wild card, then you can only pick 1 if you choose the wild card. And you can also choose to draw off the top. So on your turn, you can choose to draw 2 cards, whether it's known or unknown, take a wild card, which is only 1 card, or play a route from your hand. So you can grow your hand to 40 cards if you want to. But what happens is, if you wait too long, somebody blocks you off your route by taking, oh, I needed this to go from Louisiana up to Minneapolis. It got blocked off because somebody took this on me. Oh, so now you're going to have to adjust your route to go around or go up and through or whatever it is, that is yours. Your trains are all one color. When you play down, so like this here, you can see the yellow. If you play down yellow cards and you're a green player, you can put the green trains on the yellow lines. It's just so you can see, hey, this person's going from Maine, and it looks like they're trying to connect up to Miami. And so maybe you might want to force them to go a little other way if you have the blue cards and take the blue one on them. And you can mess with people too. When playing with little kids, I don't suggest messing with people. When playing with older kids, absolutely. Here's the Ticket to Ride. This is what it looks like in the box. It's nice and compact, nice and clean. Here you can see a wild card. Here's a different game. It's the same game, it's just a different map. You can get maps from all over the world. So if you live in Europe, the version I just showed you was the Europe version. If you live in, I know like they have one for Denmark, they have one for Sweden. I do suggest staying away from the Swedish Nordic countries if you're playing with little kids. If you're playing with older kids, no issues. But in the Swedish Nordic countries, they have a very tight choke point, and it's pretty easy to be mean in that game. So that is that game. The next game that we're going to talk about, everybody knows Yahtzee. Everybody loves Yahtzee. We're going to show you a Yahtzee-like game. It's called King of Tokyo. If you notice, you see King Kong and Godzilla on that box. And that's because they're part of the game. King of Tokyo is a Yahtzee-like game. There's a bunch of dice on the table. Here you can see there's a bunch of dice on the table. And you roll all of them. And then based on what you get, there's numbers 1 through 4, there's lightning bolts, and there's fists, and there's hearts. The lightning bolts are attacks. The hearts are recover hearts. And you get a chance to roll and re-roll and re-roll. You only get 3 rolls total, so you're gonna have to make up your mind. But anyways, the object of the game is to be the last monster in Tokyo, and the game, it's super simple. A 5-year-old can play it. Here you can see, all the stuff that's to it. If you're gonna play with a 5-year-old, some of these cards might be a little more advanced for them, so you may have to read and help them with it, but it's not that terrible. Everybody chooses their kaiju, their monster, and then you roll your dice and you try to get these energy cubes. These energy cubes you can use to spend to get cards that make your monsters even better, or you can do the fist here to slap somebody and take away a heart. You can have the hearts to add hearts. Um, you slap every monster that's in Tokyo. So in a larger game, there's two people in Tokyo, not just one. But once you go into Tokyo, every time somebody gets a hand, you get slapped, and the only way to get out is when somebody slaps you, you say, okay, it's your turn to go in. So it just goes around the table. If you're in Tokyo and you get a hand symbol, the attack symbol, you attack everybody else in the game. So there's a lot of damage to be given from the middle, but there's a negative. You're going to take damage while you're in the middle. So, and you have to decide: am I going to take it? Am I going to move on? The art on this game is pretty cool. It's very kiddish. It's very nice. So it's not going to give anybody any nightmares. Here's the designer of the game signing it. And here are a bunch of people playing the game. And as you can see, somebody's in Tokyo and they're rolling the dice to see what they're going to do. You get 3 rolls and to decide what you want. And it's a very, very simple game, very fun game. And as I said, for kids, this is absolutely awesome. So, you know what? I forgot to go through why. So, why is this? Why would this be enjoyable for a person who likes Raid? Um, these games here for kids are just games for kids. Um, there are hundreds of games out there. This first entry will not be games that are great for people who love Raid. It's about little kids. You're kind of limited in what you can do for little kids. The last 2 games I show you are definitely a match for Raid players, but not these first 3 or 4. The last one I'm going to show you, they're actually pretty much the same game. They're pretty much the same game. Like they're Stuffed Fables. Stuffed Fables. And Mice and Mystic. They're essentially the same game. Just with different themes on them. So the Stuffed Fables is meant for much younger players. The much younger players are. So what the object of this game is it's a story of a child's stuffed toys. You get to play as the child's stuffed toys. Here you can see that here's the narrative, here's the map, here's the narrative that we're playing, and here's the map that we're playing. And we're going to get a better view of it here in just a second. As I said, here's the narrative of the game, here's the map. Every person has their own character. Why is this game very much like, or not very much, why is this a Raid Lovers game? Because you're creating and handling your characters. For people under 7, they may need a little help reading their cards. They may need some help understanding their decisions. But every story that you go through, and there's a bunch of stories that you go through. As you can see, this whole book has multiple maps that you delve through. Every game is very, very, besides being very good, every story has like a moral to it that's good for the kids. You're playing as a toy right here. We can see them. You're one of these toys down here. You're a stuffed bear with a stick, or you use buttons as a shield. Here you can see the pig with buttons as a shield and a rattle as a mace. You're the toys that are protecting the kid who's sleeping from nightmares. And here are some of the nightmares. And you're also protecting the kid from some other things. You're helping the kid get over what, like one of the stories is about wetting the bed and how you're protecting the kid from wetting the bed. And there's a lot of really, really, really good themes in the game to help kids understand that they don't have to be alone. They don't have to be afraid. If you have a child that has issues with sleeping at night, this is a great game to help them gain courage, because they realize that you are there. They realize that, you know, they've got control of the situation. It is very good. Here you can see the nightmare in the moon. It's very, very slight, but the artwork is so good that they hide some of the devilish stuff. But yet you as an adult will pick it up. Your child will not. They'll look at this as, oh, here's a coin from a board game used as a shield. You know, Peg is using a mace. Or sometimes they use a button. Here he has a pen, and that's his little sword. You know, there's a lot of really, really cool things that go on in this game. And everybody has a different job. There's, healers, there's damage dealers, there's all that kind of stuff. And you can help your kid to decide what they want to do and help them, with their decisions. It is a fantastic, fantastic game. They went all out in the production of this. Here you can see you have 3 hearts plus 1 because you gained an extra heart. When you roll your dice, they've made this game because they made it for younger kids. They've made it virtually impossible to lose, but decisions that they make and decisions that you make affect the story. So playing the game is different every time. Not every time, but it's different if you change your decisions. And it gives you a lot of really good, here you can see the characters on the map, and they're in the bedroom. The bedroom's a mess. And you can see that there's some spots here that if you go to, you can help. It gives you clues to what to do and gives you decisions to make. As I said, very, very good game. Very kid-friendly and very thematic. But we're going to go on to our last game here, Mice and Mystics. Once again, very high rating. This one here, even though it has the same age rating and it's the same exact mechanics, just a different theme, this game to me is a little different. The story that is told is you are one of the, or so it starts out, the king is sick. The king of the land is sick. And you are one of his knights. And you go into his room to check up on him and take care of him. And when I say you, I mean the greater you, all the people in the party. And it turns out that the queen is poisoning the king. And you kind of put the clues together. The queen has a sorcerer on her side who changes you guys into mice. And so you get changed from a knight into a mouse. And sometimes you're magic user mouse, sometimes there's all the different kinds of mice that you can be. They give you you then get shrunk down, and they go out there to squish you and kill you. You scurry away, and you are lost in a world that isn't yours anymore. And you have to find your way back to save the king, to expose the queen, and to save the land. And so this is a really good game. Your dice are they all have different symbols on them. They tell you what they mean. It's a very simple game. Lots of dice chucking, lots of fun. You get a character card, you get, there's other things that you can add to your arsenal to make you more potent. Here you can see that this is Colin. He's a leader. You can see that he has a special power. Um, when placing cards on the initiation track, Colin is not the initiative spot. He immediately adds one to his cheese stash. So if he isn't first in initiation order, then he gets more cheese, and cheese is a way to make yourself better. Here you can see that he does 2 attack. He has a shield. He's uh, he has 2 movement. I can't remember what this one is, but it has to do with the game. Um, and each character has different things that they do. Oh, the feather is for magic. That's what it is. So, yeah, each character. This is my favorite character to play. I liked playing Nez. He was fun. He's slow, but he's fun to play. And you can see here that if you want, you can paint. They come out completely gray, but you can paint up your guys, and you can see what people have done with their guys. It's a very fun, simple game. But that is the last of the games that I was going to talk about here. And as you can see here, young boys, they really, really tend to enjoy this game. They use the book. There's a big, thick book that is the adventure book. That is the tiles for the game. You can add stuff to it. Kids love the game. It's simple. They enjoy it, especially younger boys. This here is right up Raid's alley. This is like playing Raid, the board game, just about. You're putting together a collection of people. You're selecting your team. There's actually more. There's a better game that I will expose when we do couples, and I think that's maybe next week. Called Super Fantasy Brawl. That is legitimately Raid, the board game. But I wanted to give you guys an idea of some of the best games out there to play with your family, especially if you have younger kids. And this is those games. This is Leon from Setter's Raid saying, have a great day. Enjoy some gaming with your family. Raid is awesome, but if you have to go away from Raid, here's 5 choices, especially if you have younger kids. We will get into the older family and some of the other things next week. So have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.